You might think that you know what Anne Boleyn looks like. After all, there's the iconic National Portrait Gallery image of her that everyone knows and loves. But would it surprise you to know that it dates to the late 16th century and that it's therefore not a contemporary image of Anne Boleyn? I'm Claire Ridgway from the AnneBoleynFiles.com, and today I'm going to be looking at some of the evidence regarding Anne Boleyn's appearance. As historian Eric Ives points out in his book, The Life and Death of Anne Boleyn, there is only one contemporary likeness of Anne Boleyn, and that is a medal struck in 1534. At first glance, it's not very similar to the National Portrait Gallery portrait, but look again. The lady of the medal has an oval face, like that of her daughter Elizabeth I, high cheekbones, a long neck, and a prominent nose, although this is obviously damaged. Another image of Anne, which is likely to be a good likeness because it was owned by Elizabeth I, is the tiny miniature inside the checkers locket ring which Elizabeth had made in 1574. It is tiny, the size of your little fingernail, but the face shape is similar to the medal and also to the National Portrait Gallery portrait. But what about the Hever Castle portrait of Anne Boleyn holding the rose? Like the National Portrait Gallery one, it is not a contemporary portrait, but the Anne of the picture matches the Anne of the medal, locket ring and National Portrait Gallery portrait in that she has the long oval face, the high cheekbones and the long neck. This portrait also matches a contemporary description of Anne, such as that of Francesco Sanuto, a Venetian diplomat, who described Anne as having a swarthy complexion, long neck, wide mouth, a bosom not much raised, and eyes which are black and beautiful. Another portrait worth consideration is the miniature attributed to 17th century miniaturist John Hoskins, which is said to have been copied from an ancient original, an image which perhaps the National Portrait Gallery portrait is based on. In Eric Ives's words, portrait medal, checkers ring, Hever National Portrait Gallery pattern, Hoskins miniature. The chain is complete. We have the real Anne Boleyn. But what about the other portraits? Here we have the Nid Hall portrait that could be dismissed as being Jane Seymour if it wasn't for the fact that the lady is wearing an AB brooch. In his article, A Reassessment of Queen Anne Boleyn's Portraiture, Roland Huy argues that the likeness has indeed been derived from Jane Seymour, but the face is consistent with the one shown on the Anne Boleyn medal, don't you think? Much as I don't like this portrait. And what about this chalk drawing by Hans Holbein, inscribed Anne Boleyn Queen? John Rowlands and David Starkey argue that this one is the true face of Anne Boleyn because, 1. It matches some contemporary descriptions of Anne, for example, a French account of Anne at her coronation procession, where she is described as scrofulous, meaning that she has a swelling of the throat, hence the high neckline shown in the portrait. 2. The state of undress of the sitter. According to Rowlands and Starkey, a woman of only the very highest rank would take such a liberty. 3. The inscription Anne Boleyn Queen, which is said to be written by Sir John Cheek, Edward VI's tutor, who would have known Anne. 4. Anne's connection with Hans Holbein, the fact that she was likely to have been his patron and that he undertook many commissions for her. But would the stylish Anne Boleyn have really allowed herself to be depicted in this way? And where are the features so evident in the medal and the National Portrait Gallery portrait? The long face and the high cheekbones. Another image linked to Anne is the Lucas Hornbolt miniature circa 1526-27, which art historian Roy Strong believes to be of Anne Boleyn. Roland Huy dismisses this one, commenting that it is difficult to reconcile the likenesses of the National Portrait Gallery type portrait of Anne, showing a long face and high cheekbones, and the miniature with its double chin and broader features. Huy suggests that it may be of Mary Boleyn. Eric Ives argues that miniatures of the time were usually limited to royalty, though. For me, the portrait which I feel is closest to the medal, the Chequers Ring, and the contemporary descriptions of Anne, the Hever Castle rose portrait. I have problems with the National Portrait Gallery portrait of Anne because of the colouring of her hair, which appears chestnut in this one, and her eyes, which appear hazel. We haven't got the dark hair and the black eyes which contemporary descriptions have in them. When I imagine Anne Boleyn, it is the Hever Anne that I see. I am Claire Ridgway from the AnneBoleynFiles.com. Thank you for watching.